down inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, Week 1. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Cousins. Looking here for Smith downfield. And a stop shot in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it's
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this, it's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Dalvin Cook, the ball.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Dean Lowry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Taylor now returning it. So a good punt, but a solid return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points.
This is caught at the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 51 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Complete to Martin.
A 16-yard touchdown. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
1 yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. Cousins now going up top. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. To return is Taylor. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
Packers.
play fake here on first down. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
The end of the first quarter.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
3 yards remain for second down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
Mason Crosby on for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. And some room to run now. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Packers 17, Vikings nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a second down throw for Cousins.
team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the rout is on here in this first half.
And this carries into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the third time today. Picked up near the 42. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give to Jones. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Number 30.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 27, Rodgers. He's got Lewis. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Mercedes Lewis.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. A first throw for the backup Jackson. He's going to air one out. Double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. The opening week, certainly he didn't want to throw an interception, but the rookie got it out of the way. That's the first of his career.
Veterans throw interceptions week 1, week 2, week 3. It happens along the way. But you're right. He got it out of the way. It's over. The big thing for him is, can he answer this question when he gets to the sideline? What did you see? Why did you...
And down he goes. Dale Buchanan in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
It's 2nd down.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Crosby is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger.
Nothing.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
At the 20-yard line.
Rolling to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. Some early fireworks from this rookie quarterback getting the start in week 1.
And every time a rookie quarterback gets to start week 1, you and I both know the extra attention that comes with it. We know that he's going to throw the football, but will he make the right decisions? And in this case with his legs, he showed the defense there's an extra dynamic to his game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Jackson to Jefferson on the slant. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10.
Throwing again. Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Jackson throwing once more. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
First and 10. At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
At the 35-yard line.
Second and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. One that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They run again on first down. Cook. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On third down, Jackson. To the task there in coverage and forcing a fourth down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Jackson from the shotgun. As he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Gain on the play. First down, Green Bay.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Back at the 43-yard line.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that a team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field. And he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up at the 49. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One of the underrated aspects of Davante Adams' game is his toughness. He had to battle his way through injury last year, and while his numbers may have dipped, he was still the #1 target for the Green Bay Packers and their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and still one of the best receivers in the league.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jay Sternberger, 32 yards. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Packers 37.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that will be incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Only the Titans converted more red zone opportunities into touchdowns than the Packers last year, and they've got an opportunity here, 1st and goal. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard.
So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Green Bay.
A 3-yard touchdown run. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He was brought down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
On 2nd down now. It's Cook, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Kenny Clark.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To throw on 3rd down. Jackson airing it out deep for Smith. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Alexander, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take...
Now he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Packers. Aaron Jones. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Packers are pouring it on.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9. Jackson, Packer pressure, and down he goes.
And sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Looking deep for Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Cook, the ball carrier. Adrian Amos on the tackle. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 22. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
5-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Past the 20-yard line. Partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive.
Yeah, I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. I'ma turn the knob, camera assist, I'm incredible. Yeah, came for the dollars, call it vegetable. Can I get the dash? Can I catch me? Ooh, can I get the dash? Can I catch me? Whoa, your whole team is no competition. Boy, I did it by myself, it's a solo mission. Running up the charts, I'm a fool, dog. Turn the whole field to a schoolyard. Bunch of students ain't eating around here. I'm the GOAT, little man, and I made it loud and clear. Put the gas on them like I'm with the Cavalier. Show no love, got the confidence, no fear. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, can I hit that? Okay, yeah, can I hit that? I've been ready for this. Since like 9-5, I've been eager for this. Talent on the rise, I'm consistent with this. Trophy is the prize, ain't no gimmicks with this. Okay, now what's left on them? Told you I'ma flex on them. I did it all subtle, ooh, and then I hit that exit on them. Gotta blame my faith, cause these odds ain't got nothing on them. I secured the safe for the cradle, I ain't dropping nothing, ooh. Only winning is exception, ain't no truce. Ain't no dub, ain't no L on my crew, ooh. Only winning is exception on my cool, yeah. Ain't no dub, ain't no L. I use a dub, I'ma win, I won't lose with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Yeah, I'ma act a fool with this. Okay, yeah, can I hit that? Okay, yeah, can I hit that? Can I hit that? Let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a ring. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me how I got her, how I did it, yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed. People acting different, so I ask, can I?
Hey, could count on my power and look at my dogs from. It was way back then, could claim what you saw, but you weren't with us. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, but how did you get up? I done got rich, then went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. Ay, how did the lady go miss? Ay, her she was magic, she mixed. Ay, met her at one of the functions, we caught a little rhythm, she caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did, can I kick it? Hold on, yeah, I got some rings and a range, can I kick it? Yeah, don't ask me a thing, how I got her, how I did it, yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked, can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Need a light year just to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a bag? What's heart to a guy with some cash? What's pain to a guy that's mad? Said. What's broke to a guy with a mask? What's both to a guy with a plan? I just wanna kick it, that's all I ask. Like, let me explain what I did, can I kick it? Hold on, yeah, I got some rings and a range, can I kick it? Yeah, don't ask me a thing, how I got her, how I did it? Yeah, spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I ask, can I?